afternoon and welcome to City News at 12 o'clock. I'm Anna Georgievic.
And I'm Joanna Taylor, bringing you the latest news, sport and entertainment from Newham to Haringey to Hammersmith and Fulham. The Prime Minister has laid out plans to address the spread of coronavirus. We go to Caitlin Kelly in Westminster to find out what the government plans to do.
Yes, thank you, Joanna. I'm here outside Downing Street and Boris Johnson has just finished giving a press conference about the UK's response to coronavirus. His headline was that the vast majority of the British population will be business as usual, is what he said. And although he expressed that he understood the British public's concern, he said that the advice the government are currently publishing is about what they could do and not what they will do, as they don't believe the risk is high enough yet to do those sort of preventative measures. Boris Johnson repeated his main advice, which he issued on Monday, to wash your hands with soap and hot water, to the tune of Happy Birthday twice through.
And the plan has 4 strands: containing the virus, delaying its spread, researching its origins and cure, and finally, mitigating the impact should the virus become more widespread. That is, contain, delay, research, mitigate.
So earlier this morning, the government released a 28-page document outlining their response to coronavirus. And one of the main takeaways was the point that they predict a fifth of people may be off work, which will obviously have quite a significant impact to the economy, as well as everyday life. They also predict, in terms of police, that the police may have to be redirected to be used to prevent coronavirus from spreading in the country, and therefore will be moved off low-level crime cases. Boris Johnson also said in response to questions today that the army will be on standby in a worst-case scenario. And in terms of the NHS, although Boris Johnson did say he believed that they were very well prepared and well rehearsed, there could be a situation in which non-urgent care is postponed to deal with coronavirus patients. Chris Whitty, the chief medical officer, who was also at the conference, outlined that the most important thing we can do right now is look at measures that are the right combination at the right time. And he spoke about how we need to prevent the virus from peaking in this country.
So how is this going to affect people here in North London, Caitlin?
Yeah, thanks, Joanna. I think at the moment there are 39 cases that have been confirmed of coronavirus in the UK, and I think one of the things that we need to look at is how, as a capital, we're going to function. This morning, Matt Hancock released a statement saying that it may be a little too early to call off the London Marathon, but organisers are worried that that may be one of the things that is affected, as are other organisations and big events where there will be large collections of people. Obviously, as the most populated but also globalised city in the capital, we'll have to think about transport and shutting things down like that. However, there's not been any specific government advice on that. Earlier this morning, Guildhall School of Music and Drama was another educational institution to be shut down, with one teacher currently at the Royal Free Hospital being treated for coronavirus. So at the moment, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Thanks for that, Caitlin.
An investigation has been launched after a knife incident in Stoke Newington this morning. With more on this and the rest of today's news, here's Rachel Mather.
Police are investigating a stabbing on Stoke Newington High Street. Officers were called at 7:59 this morning after a man in his 40s was found with knife injuries. He has been taken to hospital, but there are currently no reports on his condition. The Metropolitan Police have released a statement saying no arrests have been made, but a crime scene remains in place. Staff on the London Underground are demanding more testing to assess the effects of breathing in toxic tube dust. The ASLEF union is calling for urgent research into the long-term impact of inhaling these particles. Transport for London says it is doing all it can to ensure the air is as clean as possible and is supporting research into the effects of tube dust. Morning Lane People's Space campaigners are planning another consultation calling on developers to deliver 50% social housing at the old Tesco site. The current proposals put forward by Hackney Council include 530 homes, but only 20% of these are classed as affordable. I spoke to campaigner Adam Foreman to find out what the group are hoping to achieve.
From that, we hope to try and develop more of a community plan which we can put to the developers to say, look, these are the kind of things you've got to take into consideration, and put pressure on the council to take up our cause and also put pressure on the developers. We think that from that we hope to...
TfL's 20-mile-per-hour speed limit across areas of North London has come under criticism. Perry Richardson, chief editor of Taxi Point, told me it's just another money-making scheme with the added bonus of trying to deter people from using their cars. But spokesperson for TfL, Kate Hilson, told City News that the changes would help eliminate death and serious injury on London's roads. That's all from news. Back to you, Joanna.
Thanks, Rachel. And now for today's sport with Fergus McPhee. The FA Cup returned tonight for Chelsea's 5th round match against Liverpool. Will the magic of the cup be in the air tonight, Fergus?
It certainly will, Joanna, as Chelsea take on Liverpool tonight in a huge game at Stamford Bridge. It's a chance for both sides to bounce back after Chelsea's disappointing Champions League defeat to Bayern Munich last week and Liverpool's shock loss at Watford. I spoke to David Chidgey from the Chelsea Fancast, who said it should be really tough, but Watford's win shows that Liverpool can be beaten. Staying with football, there's a London derby this weekend when West Ham visit Arsenal. The stakes couldn't be higher for Arsenal after their exit from the Europa League at the hands of Olympiacos. A place in the Premier League top 4 is now their only chance of Champions League qualification, but the Gunners are still 8 points adrift of Chelsea. BBC Sports chief football writer Phil McNulty told City News the Champions League is vital for Arsenal financially and to help keep their best players. Hampstead Rugby Club are holding a community day this weekend to encourage girls to take up the sport. Club chairman Simon Taylor told City News that this Girl Can event aims to give young girls opportunities they might not know are available at local clubs. Well, earlier I caught up with local rugby player Sophie Behan, who told me how important she thinks initiatives like this can be.
We are very lucky in the UK that our women's rugby setup is top 2 in the world. Like we have professional female athletes. It is coming to that point where we're putting, it's not women's sport anymore, it's sport, and then it's men's sport and women's sport. And to get there, we have to give the girls who are coming through the system the same opportunities to have those experiences from the same age, so that when they get to like their mid-20s or whenever they're playing for the nation, it is this, they are on the same, they have had those same opportunities. And like, say for me, the fact there wasn't a girls' team for me to go and join has literally directly meant me stop playing rugby.
And finally, it's been a tough old season for the Lee Valley Lions, but they've got one last chance to salvage a win in the National Ice Hockey League South 2 Cup this weekend. The Lions take on the Bristol Pitbulls, where they'll be looking to avenge their 10-3 defeat earlier in the season. Player-manager Simon Jones told City News the Lions will look to work hard and keep their intensity high on the ice. That's all for sport. Back to you, Anna and Joanna.
Well, best of luck to the Lions, although it sounds like they've been more of the underdogs lately.
Madness returned to Camden Town yesterday to see a tribute stone unveiled on the new Music Walk of Fame. With this and more on entertainment, here is Amelia Weitzman.
It really is madness in Camden this week, as the Music Walk of Fame are unveiling 2 commemorative stones to honour local musicians on Camden High Street. You could say fans went one step beyond yesterday, travelling from as far as Scotland to watch Madness receive their stone. The founder of Music Walk of Fame is expecting even bigger crowds tomorrow for the Amy Winehouse plaque unveiling.
Amy, you know, she again promoted Camden to the world. Not that Camden needs promoting for music.
But if you prefer to enjoy art without herds of screaming fans, then David Hockney's new exhibition might be worth a visit. The show is called Video Brings Its Time to You, and it includes 18 portraits of his closest friends, including Ed Sheeran. I spoke to Jessica Monk, the Associate Director at Annalee Judah Fine Art Gallery, about the exhibition.
At the moment, David Hockney has an exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery in London called Drawing from Life, which is portraits as well. And we wanted to coincide with that exhibition.
As if that's not enough to do this week, the Jewish Book Festival is in full swing today, running all the way through the weekend. It's an annual literary festival held in King's Cross. Tom Hackett, the event organiser, told me that they have assembled an assortment of voices from the worlds of fiction, poetry, music and history. They will entertain you, inform you, move you, surprise you, and Tom added, they will occasionally irk and annoy you. His words, not mine. And lastly, but certainly not least, the 10th annual Women of the World, or WOW Festival, kicks off this Friday at the South Bank Centre. Maisie Bridges, a chief organiser at the festival, told City News to expect 3 days of unforgettable events, performances and debates. It's not all fun and games though, Maisie tells me, because ultimately it's a global movement celebrating women and girls, taking a frank look at the obstacles they face. So ladies, I hope I've given you something to get stuck into this week.
Yes, Amelia, you certainly have.
We've seen the first few touches of spring in the city this week, and I'm hoping after an extremely stormy February we'll get some good news about the upcoming weather. Can we expect to see any blue skies in the next few days, Dasha?
Thank you, Joanna and Anna. Now, we may expect to see a few brief glimpses of sunshine throughout the day, like right now here in Spa-Fields Park. But unfortunately, the day will be accompanied by light showers, and most of the day will be cloudy, with temperatures reaching a maximum of 9 degrees Celsius. The clouds will move away towards the evening, leaving the skies clear, meaning temperatures will drop, and this will leave Wednesday morning quite frosty. But despite the frost, you can still catch some sunshine on Wednesday morning if you wake up early. The morning is said to be bright and dry, but unfortunately the rest of the day will be accompanied by heavy showers. And looking forward for the next few days, it doesn't seem like spring is coming anytime soon, as the weather remains to be unsettled. Thursday will be mainly cloudy, and on Friday and Saturday we will see both sunshine and showers, so it may be best to get out both your sunglasses and umbrellas. That's all from me. Back to you, Joanna and Anna.
So some good news then if we wake up early enough for it. Do you think you'll be up in time to catch the sun, Anna?
No way, Joanna. There's no chance of waking up this sleepyhead. And that's all from us at City News.
Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.